Hello YouTubers and welcome to Novus Talks. I'm your host Novus Corvius. And in this video I decided I wanted to do something a bit different. Initially I was just going to do a trailer breakdown for Spyro from the Book of Saw, but I figured a lot of it was self-explanatory and I've already just done like 2 or 3 Saw videos in a row, so I figured I wanted to do something different. There wasn't a lot of video game news in relation to Nintendo that I wanted to discuss, so this just came to mind and I figured this would be a rather interesting thing to talk about, and it just gets the discussion going. So yeah, I'm going to give my 5 most anticipated movies for 2020, and I can tell you right off the bat, this is going to be weirdly diverse and probably controversial at points. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Number 5 on the list is The King's Man. Now, I am a big fan of Kingsman. I really enjoyed the first one. I think it's absolutely hilarious, and I thought Samuel L. Jackson was really entertaining in it. I loved the second one. People give Golden Circle a lot of shit. I think Golden Circle was really entertaining and funny, and some of the action sequences in it were absolutely crazy. So I have a lot of love for Golden Circle, and so this new film, The King's Man, which is coming out in September, I believe, 13th, is supposed to come out this month, but this is a prequel set before the first one that's going to give us the origin story of the Kingsman, as the title suggests. Don't worry, Kingsman 3 is scheduled for next year, so we are going to be getting a sequel to the second movie. So yeah, that's that film. Next on the list is Sonic the Hedgehog. Some of you might be completely baffled by this. I'm looking forward to this I've never grown up with Sonic. I've never played any of the games. It's not something that's ever appealed to me. I never understood the attraction to it. However, the movie looks absolutely horribly awful, and it looks really entertaining. I'm going into this, ever since I saw the first trailer, I knew this was going to be an absolutely dreadful movie, but it was going to be so funny, and that's why I want to watch it. At worst, I'm expecting a really entertaining, hilariously bad film. And at best, it can be really good. It's not going to top Detective Pikachu, which was an absolutely incredible film, best film of last year. But if Sonic does turn out good, and it is getting good reviews, shockingly, I will be amazed and I will applaud it. But for now, I'm expecting just a really silly and goofy comedy, basically. Yeah. Next on the list, shockingly a bit lower than some of you might have expected, Spyro from the Book of Saw. Now, this is lower down the list because although I was really looking forward to this movie ever since Jigsaw came out, it is a spin-off. It's not the next proper sequel, but it's still going to be interesting to see where this takes the Saw story going forward, and what Chris Rock has added to the universe and all that stuff. But the reason this isn't higher up on the list is because some of the other movies I have above it just have more of an appeal to me. And weirdly enough, now that I think about it, you're going to notice a trend with those and what the appeal is immediately. So yeah, Spiral is number 3 on this list. Just because some of the others have more going for them. Even though I love Saw, it's not a franchise I diss in any way other than Saw 4. And didn't like that one at all. But, you know, I'm excited to see what it's going to bring next, but it's not as new or as fresh as some of the higher ones on this list. And now we come to number 2, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm not a mega Godzilla fan or Kaiju fan or anything like that. I've not grown up with them, but I was one of the few who absolutely loved the 2014 movie. And I enjoyed it so much. I didn't think they'd ever pick up from it, but because I didn't know about the cinematic universe till recently. But so that happened. I never got to see Kong Skull Island. Godzilla King of the Monsters came out last year, and while it was not very well put together. From a visual standpoint, from an action standpoint, it was phenomenal and breathtaking. I've never seen a movie on that scale before, and I don't care what anyone says about Avengers Endgame or Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, no movie comes close to King of the Monsters in terms of scale and just the pure size of the destruction that's going on. So that's why I'm really looking forward to see like where the story goes next. What are they going to do? Apparently they set up a writer's room in 2017 specifically to handle this movie and the next coming movies. And funny enough, one of those writers is Lindsay Beer, who was involved with the Transformers room in writer's room in 2015. I believe she had a hand in Transformers 6 or something like that. I might be wrong there, or else she did the Bumblebee movie, something like that. I can't remember, but anyways, that's beside the point. I'm just really shocked we're getting another Godzilla movie so soon, like literally a year later. I know like the third movie will probably come out in like 3 or 4 years, but to get this movie right now, this is going to be insane. And the build up to it from King of the Monsters just really pumps up the energy and the hype I have for this film. That's why it's higher than Saw, because this is doing something on a scale I've never seen before, and you know, you can't really top that. I see this as the biggest potential cinematic universe if they do it correctly. So that's number 2. What about number 1? I did say at the start of this video that this list was going to be controversial. And my number 1 choice for this year is definitely going to seem bizarre. But I'll have to explain a bit into it for you to understand. So to recap first, number 5 on my list was The King's Man, coming out in September, I believe September 13th or something like that. 4, Sonic the Hedgehog, that's coming out on Valentine's Day. Number 3, Spiral from the Book of Saw, May 15th. And number 2 was Godzilla vs. Kong, and that was scheduled for a March release, and then it was May. They had 2 May releases, and now it's November 20th, so no real date on that. And number 1 on the list, shockingly, Skylines, the third and potentially final installment in the Skyline trilogy, which began 10 years ago now with Skyline in 2010. Yeah, the first Skyline didn't have a lot going for it. From a writing point of view, it was there wasn't a lot of thought put into it. It could have been deliberate, but nothing was really explained. Too much was left to the imagination. Nothing really made sense. There was no real purpose behind anything. But it was an independent film. And for an independent film, the visual effects and the action in it were fucking outstanding. Like, that has to be said about the first Skyline. It is completely like bonkers, the scope of that film for such a small film made completely separate from any studios. So that is what Skyline had going for it, and that's what kind of had me interested in it. Then the second film, 2017, in case many of you don't know, there was a second film. 2017 saw the release of Beyond Skyline, which was actually good. This one was actually, I wouldn't say really good, but it was a good step. The first half hour set at the same time as the first movie, and then it jumps, picks up from where the first movie left off. And it was good, and it explains some of the stuff, but not nearly enough as it should have, and a lot of stuff still didn't make a lot of sense. However, the reason I'm excited for Skylines is because the ending of Beyond Skyline sets up a story I've been expecting since 2016. What could I possibly mean by that? In the ending of Beyond Skyline, the humans go into space to launch an invasion on the alien homeworld, and that's what the plot of the third movie is going to be, and presumably the last movie. It's going to be on the alien homeworld, and maybe a few other planets, I don't know. Why have I been excited for that so long? That was what Independence Day 2 were setting up. Independence Day 3 would have picked off with the humans going to the Harvester homeworlds to presumably kill them all, or I know he was going to do like a 4, 5, and 6 as well, but that's what they were initially hoping to do. Resurgence failed. We're never getting Independence Day 3. So shockingly, when I saw that Beyond Skyline was setting up the same story, the exact same story basically, I was like, okay, there's still hope to see this exact same story. Not from the same franchise, but in some ways it is. I mean, it's shocking we're getting a third Skyline and not a third Independence Day, but I'm hoping Skylines, and I believe it has the potential to be the best one. Yeah, the bar is low, but it could really, if done right, do a lot of things, and who knows, maybe they go full explanation and tell us everything we wanted to know since the first movie back in 2010. Who knows? Skylines is coming out, it doesn't have a release date, but I believe it's around December. It's December of this year anyway. Yeah, and I believe it's going to be the last one. So yeah, with all that said, that is my list of my 5 most anticipated movies of 2020. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this list. Do you viciously hate it? What are some of your anticipated movies of the year? I was going to do a top 10, but I already saw Bad Boys, and I couldn't really think of any other movies coming out this year that I was excited for, so it had to be 5. I picked 5. Yeah, let me know. What are your most anticipated movies of the year? Are there any of the same movies on this list? Maybe it's Saw, maybe it's Godzilla. Let me know down in the comment section below. Again, I know this video seems really random and just almost like I put together on the spot. I did really have nothing to upload, and I wanted to stick to my schedule of uploading every 1 to 2 days. And I didn't upload yesterday, so I had to put something up today. I felt a trailer breakdown for Saw wouldn't have given me enough material to work with. Weird, I know, but that's how I felt, and there wasn't much to talk about in games, as I explained, so this just seems... I hope it's not too far. I hope you guys can forgive me for not going too far into the boundaries of what I've set this channel's guideline to be in terms of videos. But I still hope you enjoy it and you get something out of it. Maybe you didn't hear or some of the movies on this list, or maybe you're interested in them. I don't know. Let me know. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. As I said, what do you think? Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Novus Corvus out.